Hi friends, welcome to the channel JIV and CIV Made Simple. Today in this particular session we are going to see which kind of question were asked in the AML KYC examination certification examination which were held on 13 December 2025. Completely these questions are memory based question. This is a set of 30 to 40 question. We are going to cover 20 to 25 question at max and I will explain each and every option. I will request you to please try the question on your own first and then see the explanation. This way you can treat this particular question set as a mock test. So let's get started with our first question. The first question is, which of the following said correctly list the mandatory document required to open a bank account for a partnership firm? So options they have given is certificate of incorporation, board resolution, PAN of director. B say registration certificate, partnership deed, officially valid document of the person holding power of attorney. C says GST certificate, MOA, AOA and list of shareholder. D say trade license, shop establishment certificate and electricity bill. So very good question it is. Let me explain. Whenever a partnership firm want to open a bank account, the bank must verify three things. It consists of how the business will run. It consists of the profit sharing ratio. It consists of the right and responsibility. So the first thing that partnership deed consists of is the partnership firm legally formed. So if the firm is registered, not compulsory to be registered, if the firm is registered, then bank also required the registration certificate, right? Suppose the firm is registered, I told you na, partnership firm need not register compulsory, but if it is registered, then registration certificate bank also asked for. So these two documents confirm the identity of the firm, right? The first one is, I told you, is the partnership deed. Second thing I told you, registration certificate. Now so let's see the option that we have. So registration certificate, partnership deed, and now who is allowed to operate the bank account? A partnership firm cannot sign document by itself. So partner gives signing authority to a person, usually through a power of attorney. Here you will see the word they have written, power of attorney. So the partnership firm cannot sign document by itself. So what partner do? They give signing authority to a person, usually through power of attorney. And bank must verify the identity of the authorized person using OVD. There is something called officially valid document, using which what bank does? Bank verify the identity. Using OVD, bank verify the identity of the authorized person. So what can be the OVD? Aadhaar can be OVD, right? A passport can be OVD, right? Sometimes driving license can be OVD, voter ID can be OVD, Narega job card can be OVD, but PAN card is not an OVD. So OVD provide identity plus address of the person running. Now let's look at the option. Option number A is a certificate of incorporation, board resolution. Actually, these documents are for company, not for partnership firm. Option B is the perfect one. Registration certificate, partnership deed, OVD of the person holding power of attorney. Option C says GST certificate, MOA, AOA. No, that's wrong. These are also for a company, right? These are also for a company. So C is wrong. What about option D? Trade license, shop establishment certificate, electricity bill. Yeah, this may be supporting document but not mandatory certified document. So this is also wrong. So the correct answer is option number B, right? So one way you can remember it like this. Just remember the one FIRM, firm. Firm means formation proof. Formation proof is the partnership deed. I means identity of the firm, which is the registration certificate. R means representative ID, which means OVD of the person holding power of attorney. And M means mandate to operate. Mandate to operate, which is power of attorney, which is implicit in option number B. Right, so FIRM, just remember this is a trick to remember what are the documents which are required for opening a registration certificate. F means what? Formation proof. And how will you get the formation proof? Yes, you are thinking correct. This is our, to get the formation proof, you take partnership deed. And I for identity, right, of the firm, which you can get by registration certificate. R for, representative ID, which is OVD of the person. And last M is for mandate. I hope this is clear. Now let's look at the question number 2. Exactly same question was asked in the examination. The question is, which of the following is not a responsibility of the board of director? Yes, this question pertains to responsibility of the board of director in respect of the bank obligation under PMLA. So not a responsibility of the board of director they have asked. Option A say ensuring that bank has a KYC policy aligning with the legal and regulatory stipulation. Option B approving and overseeing an effective AML CFT framework. Option C conducting day-to-day customer due diligence, that is called CDD, check at the branch level. And option D, it says by appointing the designated director as required under PMLA. So which is not a responsibility they have asked. So now to understand this question, remember the simple idea. Let me tell you the simple idea that you must keep in the mind about the responsibility of the BOD. The first thing is that board always set policies, right? And branches, what branch do? Branches do day-to-day work, right? So under PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and RBI guideline, the board of director plays only policy level and supervisory role. Policy level plus supervisory role. Let's break down each and every option. Option number A say ensuring that bank has a KYC policy aligned and review it. Yes, correct. This is the board responsibility, obviously correct. Right. The board must ensure that bank has a proper KYC policy and follow all the law and RBI rule. What about option B? Approving and overseeing AML CFT framework. Yes, this is also correct. Why? Because the board must approve the bank anti-money laundering and combating the financial terrorism. What is CFT? That is called combating the financial terrorism. They must ensure risk categorization, monitoring system, reporting mechanism. So these things must be ensured. Risk categorization, then monitoring system, then reporting mechanism. These things must be ensured. Option B is also correct. What about option C? Conducting day-to-day customer due diligence check at the branch level. No. This is not a branch level, board level responsibility. Right. So daily tasks like verifying documents, checking customer identity, updating KYC, they are done by the operation staff, branch officer, compliance team, not by the board. Right. And what about option D? Appointing the designated director. Yes, correct. Under the PMLA rule, bank must appoint, the board of director, BOD must appoint a designated director who ensure that, what is the role of DD? DD ensure that bank is following the AML KYC, right, regulations or not, right? So they ensure. So yes, ABD are the function, but C is not the function, right? So this is the correct answer. So one way you can remember it like this: board is the boss level, right? Board is the boss level job. They make policy, they approve framework, they appoint key rules. But branch level, branch is the work level. Board is the boss level, branch is the work level. Branch is does the daily CDD check and customer handling. So just remember, if it happened daily, then it is never the board job, right? Whatever is happening daily, it is never the board job. This way you can eliminate the option. Friends, if you are looking for perfect study material for AML, KYC and CFT for certification examination, you can WhatsApp me on this particular number. We have more than 6 to 7 previous year memory based question, and each paper consists of 30 to 40 question. So almost it is a set of 200 to 300 question. If you go through those set, surely you will get similar question, similar concept based question in the examination. In addition to that, we provide you capsule notes, module wise important, also unit wise theory and MCQs PDF, which cover the entire syllabus at an affordable rate. You can get. You can install our app. The link is provided in the description section. Now friends, have a look at the next question. The question is, which of the following statement about Wolfsberg Group is not correct? Question is not correct, right? So options they have given, right? The Wolfsberg Group is a voluntary association of major global bank focusing on development of AML CFT industry standard. Option B, the Wolfsberg Group operate as a regulatory body with legal enforcement power. Option C, the Wolfsberg Group issue non-binding guidance such as Wolfsberg Principle and CBDDQ. Option D, the Wolfsberg Group collaborate with international bodies like FATF but remain private sector led. So which option do you think is not correct? So if you look at the option number A, it says, first of all, this is if we talk about this Wolfsberg Group, just remember it. This is the group of big international bank. This is the group of big international bank that came together voluntarily, right? What is the main goal? Their main goal is to improve the global practice. Their main goal is to improve the global practice in AML and CFT. That is the main goal. To improve the global practice in AML and CFT. So yes, they are industry led, not government led. Please remember, they are never government led. Clearly written, right? They are industry led. They are not government led. So I think option number A is correct. What about option number B? It says they operate as a regulatory body with legal enforcement power. No. This is wrong. Actually, Wolfsberg Group is not a regulator. It cannot issue law. It cannot fine bank. It cannot enforce penalty. It cannot force compliance. It is simply an industry consortium. Remember, it is simply a industry consortium, right? That provide best practical guidance. That provide best guidance possible, not legal rules. So that is why option B is the correct answer. Because the question is asking not correct, right? So This option B is the not correct one. What about option C? It says that it issues non-binding guidance such as Wolfsberg principle and CBDDQ. Exactly correct. Wolfsberg principle and what is CBDDQ? What is this? This is basically corresponding bank due diligence questionnaire, right? So these are guidance document. These are guidance document. They improve global compliance standard, but following them is not mandatory. There is no mandatory. Yes, this is the correct one. And what about option D? It says that they collaborate with international body like FATF, but remain private bank led. Yes, very good. It is correct one. Because Wolfsberg Group, they work with Financial Action Task Force. They work with Basel Committee. They work with other international bodies. But still it is private sector group, not a government entity. So the final answer to this question is, you are thinking right, that's option number B. Right. So let me just give you a trick to remember it. Whenever you see this word Wolfsberg, whenever you see this word, just think about it wisdom. This is think about it wisdom, not weapon. Wisdom, not weapon, right? So wisdom means they give guidance, they give principle, they give questionnaire, not weapon, which means they cannot punish, enforce or regulate, right? That's why I told you, think of them like a wisdom. Wisdom means, they will give guidance, they will give principles, they will give questionnaires. And not weapons means they cannot punish, enforce or regulate. So if you see, so friends, you can remember Wolfsberg as a wisdom, not weapon. So wisdom is they give guidance, they give principle, they give questionnaire, but they cannot punish, they cannot enforce, they cannot regulate, right? So if you see anything saying that Wolfsberg has a legal power, that is automatically wrong. Now have a look at the third question. So the next question is, which of the following statement regarding KYC activation and reactivation of the dormant or inoperative bank account is not correct? Again, please highlight this word not correct, right? So first of all, options are: a dormant account can be reactivated after obtaining fresh KYC document like OVD or simplified KYC document. B says, if there is no change in the address and KYC is already complete, the bank may allow self-declaration along with PAN for updating KYC. Option C say that KYC updation for dormant account can only be done at the home branch where the account was originally opened. Option D say bank may use video KYC or authorized business correspondent to update KYC for dormant account holder. So friends, if you look at the option number A, I think this is the correct one. This is the correct one. Why? Because if the customer old KYC document are outdated, invalid, missing, the bank may ask for updated KYC. The bank may ask for updated OVD, right? Or valid simplified KYC document. Or valid simplified KYC document. So if the customer old KYC document are outdated or invalid, so what will bank do? The bank may ask for updated OVD or valid simplified KYC document. This is fully allowed. Option B says self-declaration plus PAN. If there is no change in the address and KYC is already complete, bank may allow self-declaration along with PAN for updating KYC. Yes, this is the correct statement. Why? Because RBI allow an easy process that if the customer address has not changed and earlier full KYC is done. So two things are there. No change in address and full KYC is done already. The bank can accept a simple self-declaration and PAN for updating KYC. No fresh document is required. That is the part of RBI KYC easing measures. What about option C? It says that KYC updation for dormant account can only be done at the home branch where the account was originally obtained. No, this is incorrect. Actually, KYC update can be done at any branch, right? It can be done at any branch. No need to visit the branch where the account was originally opened. This applies to normal account as well as the dormant account. That's why option number C is the incorrect one. What about option D? Bank may use VCIP, that is video based KYC, customer identification process, or BC is business correspondent to update KYC for dormant account. Yes, this is the correct one. Because RBI now allow bank to update customer KYC through video KYC or authorized BC. This makes the process easier for customer. So this is the correct one. So the question was which is not correct. So obviously option number C is not correct. That is the final answer. So just remember this keyword KYC, any branch, any channel, right? KYC means any branch, any channel. Means any branch, no need to go to home branch. You can use VCIP or BC, anything. So dormant account can be reactivated after fresh KYC if needed. And if address is unchanged and KYC is complete, so self-declaration plus PAN will work and KYC updation can be done at any branch. Bank can use VCIP plus business correspondent for KYC update. Now have a look at the next question. Very important question asked every examination, asked every attempt. So the question is, which of the following statement regarding the opening and operation of the NRO account for foreign student in India is not correct? Very good question. So the question pertains to opening and operation of the NRO account for foreign student in India. So which is not correct, they have asked you. So option A says that a foreign student must submit a passport with visa, immigration endorsement, a photograph and an admission letter from an Indian educational institution to open the account. Option B say that, so here the keyword are passport, you can see passport, visa, immigration endorsement, photograph, admission letter, etc. Option B says must give local address within 30 days. Right, declaration of the local address within 30 days of account opening. Option C says unlimited foreign inward remittance allowed before address verification. You can see written unlimited foreign inward remittance, right, is allowed before address verification. And option D say Pakistan or Bangladesh national need RBI approval. Right, they require prior RBI approval, Pakistan or Bangladesh national. So let's see which option is correct. If you go through option number A, you can see that this is the correct one. Yeah, right. To open the account, a foreign student must give what? To open the account, a foreign student must give passport with visa, immigration stamp, recent photograph, admission letter from the Indian educational institution. This is the correct one. The question is not correct. Right. So they have to give the passport, they have to give the recent photograph, admission letter from Indian education institution. Option B says that must give local address within 30 days. What do you think? Yes, this is the correct, because a student may not have a permanent local address at the moment of arrival. So temporarily RBI law temporarily address at the basically RBI law temporary address at the account opening and local address declaration within 30 days. This is the correct one. Right, but bank must verify this address later. Bank must verify this address later. Now what about option C? Option C says, pending verification of the local address, that it says, unlimited foreign inward remittance. This is not correct. This is the wrong. The truth is that, before the local address is verified, the student cannot receive unlimited foreign remittance. After it is verified, then they can receive. Right. And, RBI limit foreign remittance to how much? $1,000. Right. Until the address verification is done. And also withdrawal are capped at 50,000 rupees per month. Right. Until the address verification is done. So this word unlimited inward remittance is incorrect. What about option D? It says Pakistan, Bangladesh nation need RBI approval. Foreign student who belong to Pakistan or Bangladesh, they must take prior RBI approval. This is the correct one. This is the mandatory rule. So just one trick to remember it. 1 to 50 rule for a student. Right. So you can remember it like this. So friends, this is called 1 to 50 rule for a student. So what does it mean? So before address verification, right, which means $1,000 maximum foreign remittance, and 50 means 50,000 rupees withdrawal limit. Right. So this is the limit. Please remember it. Right. Now friends, let's have a look at the next question that we have. So this is a fill in the blank type question. Very good question. So it says that under the PMLA rule, that is Prevention of Money Laundering Act rule, bank must report first, right, all the cash transaction exceeding dash in a single instance, and second, all series of integrally connected cash transaction occurring within 1 month where aggregate value exceed 1. So there are two blanks, first and second option. They have given you 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 10 lakh, 50,000, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh. So what do you think is correct? Let's have a look. Under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act and the Maintenance of Record rule, under both these rules, bank must file a CTR, right? So bank has to file what? CTR. With whom? Bank has to file a CTR with FIUIND, right? So there are two situations where CTR must be filed. The first case is single large cash transaction. Single large cash transaction. So if any of the customer does a single cash transaction of more than 10 lakh, right, the bank must report it. That has to be reported, right? So for example, suppose if someone deposited 11 lakh in cash in one go, right? So CTR must be needed. And the second case is, basically multiple small cash transaction. Suppose there are multiple small cash transactions. Suppose if a customer does many small cash deposit, many small cash withdrawal, all within the same month, and they are related, integrally connected, and the total crosses 10 lakh, it must be reported. Let me give you one example. Suppose 3 lakh he has deposited today, right? 4 lakh he has deposited next week, right? 3.5 lakh he have deposited in the month, later in the month, later. So total is how much? 3 plus 3.5 plus 4, which is 10.5 lakh. So in this case also, CTR must be filed. Although each is below 10 lakh, you can see 3.5, 3, 4, each one of them are below the 10 lakh, but together they cross the limit. That is exactly why the correct value for both the blank is 10 and 10. So here also we will write 10 and here also we will write 10. In both the cases, CTR has to be filed, cash transaction report has to be filed. So 10-10 rule for cash reporting. 10 lakh single, report. 10 lakh total in 1 month, report. If it is 10 or more, FIU needs to know it, right? I hope this is crystal clear. Now, in the last examination, there was a case study which was asked based on STR, suspicious transaction report. And the same case study I have framed before you for your practice purpose. Let's have a look. So the case study, the branch of XYZ bank, branch noticed that there is an unusual rapid movement of fund, right? And branch escalate to the principal officer on 3rd March. Branch escalate the matter to the principal officer on 3rd March. After reviewing, the PO, that is principal officer, conclude on 6th March that the transactions are quite suspicious. Now the question is, by when should the bank submit the STR to FIU IND? So option asks, within 7 days from the date of date the branch detected the activity. Option B, within 7 days from 3 March, that is the date of branch escalation. Within 7 days from 6 March, date PO concludes suspicion, and by the end of the same month. Very good question, right? So, under PMLA and as per the RBI guideline, what is the timing of the STR? So this is, STR. STR means suspicious transaction report. So, the timing of STR depends on one key moment. So that says that the clock starts when the PO forms suspicious, right? Suspicion, not when the branch detect it. When the timeline starts when the PO forms suspicion, right? Not when the branch detect it. So let's break the timeline. So 3rd March, what has happened on the 3rd March? This is the timeline. So 3rd March, what happened? That this is the initial detection. This was the initial detection, right? The branch cannot file STR by itself. It must escalate to the PO. And that is what it has done. It has escalated to the principal officer. Then principal officer review it. Then the 6th March. This is the very important date. So RBI rule says that, STR must be filed within 7 days from the date when the bank arrive at a conclusion that the transaction is suspicious. And who made the conclusion? The conclusion is made by no other than the PO. PO is the principal officer. So the 7-day countdown will start from when? It will start from 6 March, right? Not the 3rd March. Many people get confused here. It will start when the principal officer concluded that yes, truly, this particular transaction is suspicious. So the deadline is, friends, 7 days from 6 March is the correct answer. So which option do you think is correct? Yes, option number C is the correct one. Within 7 days, it has to report from the 6 March to FIU IND, right? So STR means suspicion triggered by reviewer, right? Trigger date and reviewer. Who is the reviewer? PO. PO is the reviewer. Who decide the date? Who decide whether it is suspicious or not? Now the second question of the same case study is like this. The compliance team draft an STR but provide a vague description in the ground of suspicion that customer activity look unusual, hence STR file. The PO is reviewing this draft before submission. So the question is, which of the following action is most appropriate, right? So the compliance team draft an STR, but the ground of suspicion says only that, customer activity look unusual, hence the STR is filed. This is quite vague. This is quite incomplete. The principal officer must review this before submission. The question is, what is the most appropriate action? Option A says that, you should accept the GOS because STR filing is more important than detail. B said that we should reject the STR because vague GOS invalidate the report. C says that return to the team to rewrite GOS clearly, explaining why the activity lack economic rationale. Option D, file the STR and send a separate email explaining the suspicion. So, what is the correct answer? It is very simple, You can think of this GOS, right? That is called, ground of suspicion. You can think of GOS as the heart of the STR. This GOS, you can think of it like, heart of STR, right? FIU IND does not just want to know that something was unusual. They want to know why it was unusual. Why it was unusual. They don't want to know that something was unusual. They want to know why it was unusual. So the good GOS must answer the 4 basic questions. A good GOS, which means, ground of suspicion, they must answer 4 questions. First thing, what happened? Second thing, why suspicious? Third thing, what lack economic logic? What lack economic logic? And the fourth thing is, why does the bank feel it need to report? Why does the bank feel it need to report? Right. So these 4 questions the GOS must answer. Means what happened? Second, why it is suspicious? Third, what lack economic logic? Fourth, why does the bank feel it need to be report like this? So a line like, it's just writing that, customer activity look unusual. A line like this, it gives zero useful information. That's why PO must send it back for rewriting. Yes. So what PO will not accept? Option A say it will accept. Right. Reject the STR because vague GUS invalidated. No. Option C is the perfect one. Return to the team to rewrite GUS clearly. Right. So PO must ensure clarity, completeness, a specific description, and economic or logical reasoning behind the suspicion. Right. Option A is wrong because they say accept vague GUS. No. Filling quickly is important, but filing properly is more important. Right. That's why this is wrong. Now the final answer is GUS means, give original story. This way you can remember. Give original story. Right. This way you can remember it. So GUS is the most important part of the STR. It must clearly explain why activity is suspicious. Vague line like, activity unusual are not most important part of STR. It must clearly explain why activity is suspicious. Vague line like, activity unusual are not acceptable. Now the third question of the same case study is like this, that a bank detect a suspicious pattern involving online non-cash suspicious transfer. Non-cash suspicious online transfer, typically used for layering across many account, right? Multiple account. The branch asks that STR required. There is no cash involved. The PO planned to file the STR using FIUIND utility. Which statement is correct in this scenario? Option A says that STR must be filed. STR is not required because transactions were non-cash. B says that STR must be filed because suspicious apply regardless of cash or non-cash. C says STR can only be filed manually. And D says STR is filed only if monthly value exceeds the threshold of 10 lakh. So the biggest confusion is many branches that, is STR only for cash transaction? Right. This is one of the biggest confusion. That is STR. The question is STR only for cash transaction? There is a PMLA rule. PMLA rule 3 subsection 1D. So it says that, STR must be filed for any transaction. Not necessarily cash transaction. Any transaction that is suspicious. Whether it is cash, whether it is online transfer, whether it is NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, right? Or whether it is internal transfer, right? Or whether it is forex transaction, card transaction, etc. Cash is not required for suspicion, right? So cash is irrelevant. So in this case, even though the transfer are purely online, the pattern look like layering. As you can see clearly, they have mentioned that this particular pattern, it looks like, layering, right? You can see involving layering of account. So pattern looks like layering. So which is one of the classic sign of money laundering. So STR must be filed. Which option do you think is correct? Yes, option number B is the correct. Whether it is 1 lakh or 1 rupees or 1 crore, cash or non-cash, in or one transaction or many transaction, if it is look unusual, if it is look unjustified, if it is look, without economic purpose, connected to layering, STR must be filed, right? So please remember it. Now have a look at the next question. Which of the following statement regarding UK sanction as described in the passage is not correct? Which of the following statement regarding the UK sanction as described in the passage is not correct? Option they have mentioned is that, UK and EU impose arm and weapon embargoes on several countries. B says trade sanctions issued by UK post prohibit certain trade activity with countries like Lebanon and Syria and Iran. The UK sanction list of prohibited individual entities managed by Financial Conduct Authority. And D say transaction with individual or entity listed under UK sanction are strictly prohibited. So let's break this down one by one. So option number A that says that UK and EU impose arm and weapon embargo on several countries. This is the correct one. UK and the EU do not put ban on sending arms and weapon to many countries. This is basically they do put ban, right, on sending arms and weapon to many countries. This is basically a type of security measure, right? Don't sell weapon to risky places. Correct one. Option number B says that, trade sanction issued by UK prohibits certain trade activity with the country. Correct. UK also has trade sanction on countries like Lebanon, Syria and Iran. Meaning you cannot do certain business or trade with these countries. So this B is also correct. C says, UK sanction, this is a tricky one. Its sanction list of prohibited individual entity is managed by FCA. Actually, many aspirants think that FCA manage the sanction list. You know what is FCA? Right, FCA, many aspirants think that, the sanction list is managed by FCA. Right. FCA manage the sanction list. So what do you think? Is it correct? So actually, that is wrong. Because, UK sanction list is managed by HMT. Who manage the UK sanction list? See, sanction list is managed by HMT. HMT stands for, Her Majesty Treasury. Her Majesty Treasury, not FCA. FCA do not mention the sanction list, rather HMT manage it. FCA only give financial regulation. What FCA does? It only give financial regulation, right? So it does not maintain the sanction list. So what is the correct answer? So if you look at the option number C, it says UK sanction list of prohibited individual. No, that's wrong. And what about option D? Transaction with individual or entity listed under UK sanction are strictly prohibited. Yes, if someone is on the UK sanction list, you cannot deal with them. No transaction, no business. Correct. So the correct answer is option number C, right? That is our main learning from this particular question. So you can remember it like this. Sanction list, there is a way to remember it. Sanction list is equal to treasury list, right? So FCA regulate, treasury sanction update. Just create this rhyme. FCA regulate, treasury sanction update. FCA financial rule, HMT sanction list. I hope it is crystal clear. So UK and European Union impose arm and embargoes, correct. Trade sanction with Lebanon, Syria and Iran is obviously there is a sanction. And sanction list managed by HMT, FCA does not manage it. Now friends, have a look at the next question. The next question is, which of the following statement about the collection account is not correct? They are asking about the collection account. So option they have mentioned that, collection account used by immigrant, here you can see, used by immigrant group to pool a small deposit and send fund home in single overseas transaction. B says, a foreign account may receive payment from many unconnected account in the home country. C says that collection account are always illegal because these are mainly used for laundering illicit fund. D says criminal group may misuse collection account even though they are legitimate for migrant worker. So which is not correct, they have asked you, as you can see clearly highlighted. So if you look at the statement number A, the passage clearly says that, immigrant worker deposit a small amount into collection account and then the total amount is sent abroad in one single transaction. This is a legitimate method widely used by migrant communities. So yes, what happened, let me show you. Basically, what happened, there are some immigrant worker, right? So what this immigrant worker they are doing, they are depositing a small amount. They are depositing a small amount where? They are depositing a small amount into the collection account. They are depositing a small amount into the collection account and then the total amount is sent abroad. Total amount is sent abroad, right? In one single transaction. This is a legitimate method. So option number 1 is legitimate. What about option number B? If you look at the option number B, it says that a foreign account may receive payment from multiple unconnected account. Yes, this is a common feature of collection account is that, foreign account receive deposits from many different people. Often they are unconnected to each other. That is exactly what the passage explains. Statement number C says that collection account are always illegal. No, this is not in, this is the only incorrect statement because they are not always illegal. They are perfectly legitimate for immigrant and laborer who want to send money home efficiently. Yes, they can be misused for money laundering, but misuse does not make the system itself illegal. That's why C is wrong. And option number D says criminal group may misuse collection account. Exactly. Collection account are legitimate, but criminal group may misuse them to hide the illegal fund. So D is also correct. So question is not correct. So option number C is incorrect, right? I hope it is crystal clear now. So what we learned from this discussion is that, collection account, just remember it. Collection account, legal use plus illegal misuse, right? If it is legal, then you can use it. If it is illegal, misuse, right? So legal concept plus unlawful misuse, reality of collection account. Now have a look at the next one. The next question is who appoint the director of FIU? That means very good question. That director of FIU is appointed by whom? That is what the question is all about, right? As per the PMLA Act. Option they have mentioned RBI, appointment committee of the cabinet, central government, ministry of home affairs. So what does the law say? First of all, let's look at what does the law say. There is a section number 49 subsection number 1 of the PMLA 2002 and this clearly says that the central government has the legal authority to appoint FIU IND. So the power directly lies with the central government. So if we look at the option A say Reserve Bank of India. So they have no role in appointing FIU IND. Option B say ACC acting independently. So ACC. So ACC appoint the senior appointment, but the legal power to appoint still lie with the central government. This is also incorrect. Option C says, that the central government, exactly, this is the correct one. And option D say Ministry of Home Affairs, no. Actually, you know, FIUIND does not fall under MHA. It fall under Ministry of Finance or Department of Revenue, right? So FIU director means finance plus government direct power, right? Please remember it. Now, one question is, which of the following statement correctly describe the role of Riggs Bank in the Augusto Pinochet money laundering scandal? This question was asked in the recently held examination. Options they have given that Riggs Bank reported Pinochet suspicious account to US regulator leading to legal action. B says that Riggs Bank helped Augusto Pinochet hide and move millions of dollars by concealing his account from US federal regulator. C says that Riggs account froze all the account linked to Pinochet as soon as allegations surfaced. D says that Riggs Bank refused to deal with Pinochet due to a strict anti-money laundering control. So which option correctly described? That's what the question is. Let's understand the real story behind it. Right? Let's understand the real story behind this scandal in the simplest term possible. What is this Pinochet account all about? This scandal is all about. Let's understand. Basically, what happened? You know, there was a bank. The bank name was, you know, Riggs Bank. Right? So basically, Riggs Bank, this was a respected US bank at that time. They plays a negative role. They plays a negative role in helping dictator. Dictator name was, you know, dictator name was Augusto Pinochet. Right? So they secretly move money. So this bank helped this Augusto Pinochet secretly move money. So instead of following the AML rule, the bank opened hidden account. The bank opened hidden account for Pinochet. Right? Concealed his identity. The bank concealed his identity. And then what happened? Did not report in suspicious transaction. Suspicious transaction was not reported. Helped the Pinochet keep access to millions of dollars. Help millions of dollars. Right? Allegedly stolen from people of child. So this incident was in the country of child. Right? So this was direct violation of the US anti-money laundering law. So let's look at the option. Option number A says that Riggs Bank reported Pinochet. So no. Actually, Riggs Bank did not report the suspicious activity. In fact, they hide his account from regulator. Option B is the perfect one. Right? Riggs Bank helped Augusto Pinochet hide and move millions of dollars. Exactly. C says that Riggs Bank froze all account. No. That's completely wrong. And option D says that Riggs Bank refused to deal with Pinochet. No, that's wrong. Right? So option number B is the correct one. So you can remember it like this. There is a mnemonic you can use. Just remember it. Riggs rigged it. Riggs rigged it. Which means they remind you that Riggs Bank did not follow AML rule, that is anti-money laundering rule. It rigged the system to protect Pinochet. Therefore, Riggs helped, not reported or froze anything. Right? So friends, we have more questions available, and that question I will explain to our paid member who have joined our course. If you also want to access such kind of videos, such kind of PDF for your ultimate revision, you can enroll in our course. For more detail,